Thank you. Good afternoon, dear President Nicolas Maduro. There is no doubt that your presence and participation in this forum, it highlights the sense and the way that in which you today are rising against the world, against neocolonialism, imperialism, raising your voice with bravery and dignity, representing Venezuela, the historical Venezuela of Simon Bolivar. I want to welcome the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, who is also here with us in this forum. That, as the Chancellor said, for 2 days it has been organized for the discussion, reflection, and we also have the participation of the academics of the world, scientists, intellectuals, governments, political parties, social movements, indigenous people, descendants of Africans, with one main idea, that is to go down neocolonialisms and the imperialisms that takes the lives of the people and it causes death. Today, October 3rd, it's especially 126 years of the fraudulent of 1899 in Paris, which left a lesson for humanity in which they pretended to take away almost 160,000 kilometers of Venezuela. But it also meant a geopolitical situation, and also political one, that for the first time in this story had reached, and the Monroe Doctrine, that America was for the Americans, for the United States, and they spread the world, they shared it between the British Empire of the moment and the rising empire of the United States. We have also talked about, in these 5 panels, the historical causes of the humanity that were left after this territory. One of the most violent causes that humanity has right now is the Palestine situation. So we recognize their situation in the front of the vile genocide that is being done by this Zionist entity, which is an inheritance of this division between the empires, the European at the time and now the Western. We all know what that sharing of the world meant between the British and the American for stealing territories that were rich in gas, petroleum, gold, and that today it is reivindicated by ExxonMobil, who finances a new cause, a new fraud that is being taking place in the front of the International Justice Court, with the only objective of giving away that territory to someone who doesn't own it, which is Guyana. And it's very regrettable that part of the reflection that the situation that we are currently going through by the brother countries of the Caribbean is because Guyana has opened the doors to the US invader and the military aggression against our region. And you said you had many calls before the UN from 2015 and 16, 2017 until this year. You have warned for what ExxonMobil financing the Guyana government to appropriate an aggression, a military aggression from the United States, not only against Venezuela, but also in the Caribbean Sea. We see it and we feel it, how they murder in executions that are extrajudicial. They're murdering nationals of our countries. So, President, here's the reflection to discuss, but especially not to repeat the past, and to reivindicate and reparate the countries who were victims of slavery, of colonialism, of neocolonialism, and imperialist expansion, sees their aspirations reivindicated and their notion of independence and consecration of the fundamental rights of international law. So the discussion is open. It was 2 days where Caracas 126 years from the nefast situation of 1996, is still raising the flags of international law and peace to talk about a controversy that should be done through the law, like the Geneva Convention of 1996. So these were the words of. Now we have the words of Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves. Thank you very much, dear friend and comrade Nicolas. My dear Delcy, and my comrade Minister of International Foreign Relationship, dear brothers and sisters present in this important meeting, I want to speak on the issue of the necessity for peace